I don't know, but we are live here on the Paper Chase channel, and we are going to dive into the comic community, get a good old pulse on all things comics. It's another Thursday night on the Into the Void podcast. Oh, all right. Welcome back, everybody. How's it going, buddy?
Holy shit, are we doing this? Is this happening?
This is real. We accidentally messed up and made a podcast happen.
God damn, man. I got to tell you what, like I get Jones in, man. I'm like the second part of the rap group. I can't do it without you, you know? And you've been busy. You've been busy. I've been missing you in life and on Into the Void.
Yeah, man. It's Kevin and I are going to catch up in real time on this podcast here. It's going to be a good time. We're going to dive into a lot of topics, and we really also want to talk to you guys too. This is kind of just a community gathering of like, where's everybody at kind of situation. I got about 5 or 6 slides, and it's just going to be real simple. Bullet point topic, here it is, and we just chat about it. And a lot has happened since we've gotten together, and there's a lot to talk about. And we're going to talk about it all. And we're going to try to fit it in short and sweet within an hour. But hit the like button if you can within 53 minutes. That's right. So we are on a time crunch. First, let us, guys, guess Rev's age in the chat.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Guess Rev's age in the chat. Very quickly, we're going to do this. Then we're going to dive in.
Fingers and toes, you're disqualified immediately.
Oh, yeah, that's right. My dude looks 28 years old.
Nope.
Crazy.
But let me tell you what, man. You dropped that video last week, and I couldn't. I didn't see it for the first 2 days or so. And then, like, just because I hadn't seen you in person or really talked to you, like, I was like the Wolverine on the bed, man. I was like watching you, just like rubbing the screen, dude.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we've talked. 10 years younger than he was last pod. I know, right, dude? That beard, yeah, man. It's crazy. Okay. All right. Back to comics. So, guys, Fingers and Toes, Plagueis, thank you guys for popping in, as always, 18 and a half. Let's dive into this. So, it's been a while. A lot has happened. Let's start off with this. Your collection. What are you collecting? Everybody in the chat, Rev, what are you collecting? Where is your collection changed to? What has it changed to? How has it evolved? Where are you at? What matters now?
Okay, so I'll tell you right now from off the get that I'm kind of interested. I was making fun of it. It's one of those things where like you say you'll never wear slippers outside, then you start wearing slippers outside, and then all you do is wear slippers outside. I was laughing about the absolute power thing, because of all the Ultimate Universe and things like that. But I actually went back and bought all of the Brainiac. The Brainiac War, or whatever, House of Brainiac from DC, leading up to the actual Ultimate Absolute Power for DC, and I'm gonna read that. I'm gonna dive into that. I'm gonna give it a go. I bought Zartana 1 and 2. I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna see what's going on in DC. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna stop being that asshole.
All right, now we're not doing this one. We're doing this one. What are you collecting?
Oh shit! Okay. Oh, what I'm collecting.
Yeah. We'll get to this one later, but what are you collecting?
Sorry, my man. I've been able to collect those books. Okay, collecting. We got. I'm just trying to finish up my New Mutants collection. I just got number 92 the other day from Whatnot.
Nice.
Doing that, and then honestly, a lot of the collecting has kind of slowed down just a little bit because a lot of the keys that I'm trying to get. I mean, I've got a lot of them. So yeah. I'll figure something out. But for a lot of the keys, I got most of the ones I'm looking for.
Right. Are you?
What about you?
Right now, I think I've tried to not make this a loaded answer here, but I think I'm really honing in on kind of what matters. And the way I choose to look for books now has definitely evolved. The whole chasing down, back issues at garage sales and stuff like that. There's very little of those popping up, I'm finding. So it makes it a little bit harder. The collections seem to are drying up around me. So there's not a whole lot of collections that I'm buying. I'm working on one right now that's in New Jersey, which hopefully will get closed and it'll get mailed. But hopefully that deal will close. And there's a whole 181 in there. There's a lot of Hulk stuff in there, actually.
That's the one you were talking about, right? That's the one you were talking about?
Yeah, so hopefully we'll do a nice unboxing of that collection. But honestly, man, it's kind of like I just want to have I want to stick to my high grade horror stuff. I still, it comes down to like, what's that thing where you go and pick up an object and then you ask yourself, does this make me happy? And then if it doesn't, minimalist, right? Minimalist, they have this ideology that if they pick up an object and they look at it, and if it doesn't make them happy, or if it's not needed for survival, they toss it away. So these people are left in this like single empty room with like a fridge, and just barely anything, literally barely anything, 10 objects to their name.
Yeah.
So
that's why I don't wear underwear.
Right. Yeah. So I'm kind of like trying to take my collecting to somewhat of an approach like that. I'm looking at all these boxes that are not all personal collection stuff. And I'm just realizing like, okay, if I'm staring at 30 boxes of inventory, but behind me is 10 boxes of the PC, how much of that am I enjoying? How much of that am I consuming and really getting the value out of it? And how often, if they are those boxes, whatever's in there, how often do I go through and flip through them and read them? So there's a lot of like philosophical collecting questions that's been entering my mind lately of like, how do you make the most out of what you decide to keep? And how it gives you the most. Because remember, I'm a big advocate for collecting and reading are two different things. They're two completely different animals.
And that's okay, right?
It's absolutely okay. Of course, yeah. Of course, it's absolutely okay. So I'm trying to figure out a lot of these questions. I definitely, like I said, high grade horror. I do love the keys. I love high grade keys. I love things that are hard to find, high value stuff. I mean, I do like that stuff. And then personal nostalgia stuff too. I'm liking a lot as well. Like, stuff that was popular when I was a kid is bringing me a lot of joy. So that's that long-winded answer.
No, I don't think I think that's okay. So like that's interesting because that's like a personal journey. I think that we all kind of go on with collecting the books. Okay, let's just say that like reading. You're right. Leave it out. Let's just say the pure collecting side of what I'm doing. Absolute evolution, man. Absolute evolution. We all know that when I first started, I was catching all these ridiculous kitschy covers and things like that, and I still love that. But I also found out that my love for that. I mean, like I can look at them, but again, like I think a lot of collecting comes with sharing. It doesn't. You can either be a person who doesn't share at all and likes to sit on the hoard, and that's great. But I mean, like when you and I talk, or when you and I we go out, we were talking about things. Like I'm happy for you when you've got something good, and like you kind of like pat me in the back and say congratulations on your stupid book.
Yeah. It's a fine. It's a win.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that with collecting, I think that and Doc Plagueis can completely agree with this, and Darth Claw and all these people who are out there collecting is like, my God, there's nothing better than going in there and just finding the fucking thing, like just finding it. I don't even care if I keep it. I just found it, and fuck you, I found it first.
Yes, that. So you literally took the words out of my mouth. That is where I was going to go right after you were done, and I was going to say that it's starting to dawn on me more and more that it is literally like. To not sound like an idiot here, but I guess when I named the channel Paper Chase, it's the first thing that came to my head. Like I did not look at something and think, oh, that'd be a cool name. The name Paper Chase just popped in my head, and I knew that was also another term, but I liked the spin on it, and for it being literature, and comic books, but. It is literally the chase of it, the hunt, the finding of it that I think is just the most fun. And it kind of brings you to a spot of like
euphoria. Absolutely.
Well, no, I was going to say, do you need to keep any of it? Like, do you, no. I'm like, this is just personal questions. I'm like, do I need to keep any of it? Could I be? And as somebody left a comment on the channel the other day, and I was just like, I didn't even respond to it, right? I'm getting real good at just like not
swallowing that.
Let the negative comments, if you ever do a YouTube channel, best advice, let the negative comments, unless you have something to educate the person on, let the negative comments sink to the bottom of the comment void, and just never acknowledge them. But I did read somebody's comment. I'm gonna say here, but one guy, said, this is clearly a dealer's channel, not a collector's channel. But all I talk about is how to collect, right? And how I collect. And
it's
like
whatever
that.
the fuck I want channel. It's my channel. I'll do what I want channel.
Absolutely. But the thing is, but I'm trying to dissect this certain thought process of, he said it like it's a negative thing. He said it like, this is a dealer, you're not a real collector. Like, well, what do you think of your LCS? Are they a POS because they're just sitting there dealing comics? Like, people act like selling comic books is a bad thing. And I'm trying to figure out where that subset of collector, why they are in this mental space of like, if you're doing anything but just reading and rolling them up and putting them in your back pocket, and you're selling and you're even funding the hobby, but that's not you. You're different than that, dude. But like, if you're funding the hobby, or if you're a dealer, or if you're selling, you're doing something wrong. And so there is definitely a type of person like that. But then part of me, like I said, is starting to feel like, can you just be a dealer and be happy? The fact that I don't need to sit there and look at it over and over. I'm happy just to be in the presence of it, and I can move it on to somebody else is extremely satisfying as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Just trying to figure shit out.
I dig it. How often do you sit in your room naked with a candle in the middle of the floor, like thinking this out? Is that, you know what I'm saying? You're like just calling on the higher beings of it. Look, I mean, the fun thing is like, I mean, there are boxes now that I have where I'm kind of like, well, fuck, I don't care about any of this anymore, you know. And I'm happy. Look, I'm gonna make somebody happy by giving them away or selling them for whatever like that. I mean, just so as a seller, you're a peddler of happiness. Somebody's gonna be happy buying your stuff, and you're not a rip-off artist, so you're not gonna be gouging people and shit like that. So you're fine. I mean, look, people who feel that way, it's just being bitter. You know, I mean, but
for sure.
You know.
And it's not affecting anybody. It's not affecting me whatsoever. It's just, I always try to figure out, there's three types of personality types, right? And there's not just an A and a B. And I forgot where I heard this from, but there's a C personality type that is not submissive, but they want to understand the why behind everything that's said. So you have somebody who like will get pissed off at a comment. Then you have somebody who will be it will unfaze them. And then you have the person that wants to know more. I feel like I'm the person that wants to know more about like why certain thought processes are. You know, my bad. Hold on. My bad.
Real quick, so you guys out in the internet haven't had the joy to do this. Like, again, I am not of the knowledge type. I have some knowledge for sure, but I've been in a room. We went a couple months ago. We talked about it to Kim's locker room. And I had the joy of hanging out with Albert, Darthclaw, and and Johnny here, and they were just like going through boxes and like trading off, like, oh, look at this, and they were just excitedly talking back to each other. They're like, one would just like hold the book up and they're kind of like, what does it mean? And then they're like banging it out. Dude, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun kind of doing that. So I mean, that's for me, like I said, that's a lot of the joy. I mean, we're hanging out. You know, Albert said tribalism. If that's what he's saying, then I agree. We're all part of a tribe. We're all kind of doing our thing. Again,
sure.
And again, people who put in late content, I mean, a lot of content like Doc Plagueis, his little displays minus the characters I don't like, I like them all. They're cool as hell.
Cool.
Like, I don't know what he's doing with all these toys. I really was just like a walkthrough of his house. But I mean, every time I see one of those little diorama things, I'm like, that's just fucking cool, and I'm happy for him. He's part of our tribe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. For sure, the hunt, the chase, the community, that's all. You know, it's all the best part of this thing. And I mean, shoot, how many times can you look at a book or read a book? So I guess my advice and what I think, it's not necessarily a figuring out type of thing, like how you want to collect, but I think it's more of a reminding thing, that you have to remind yourself that what you are idolizing behind you that's on your wall or in a box somewhere, in 5 years that may very well change, and that's okay. Just let it go. But like Zim said, try to buy low and sell high. That's the smart way to do it. You don't want to be the last guy holding the bomb before it goes off by giving into for giving into, stupid high prices.
We're talking about Dazzler? Is that what we're talking about? Were you indirectly talking about Dazzler?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is too, and like people are always like, and that's another great public announcement that, for people buying stuff is the whole beware fuck FOMO thing. But that's FOMO is a real thing, but I always say somebody has a right to want something and they have the right to want it now. That is a right. And it comes with a price.
I saw that Doctor Doom. I cannot listen. We talked about this on the phone. This is the last time we actually kind of talked a little bit. You guys, Doc Doom #1 by Jonathan Hickman out there. I bought it for what? I think it sold for like $8 or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, it was like it wasn't 10, but it was like right around there. And I got it because I wanted Jonathan Hickman. I'll kind of blindly follow him for the most part in the stuff that he does. There's a few writers that I'll just follow their projects and see what's going on. I picked it up because I just wanted to see what he was going to write about Doom, his whole spin of it. I read it. Look, Johnny, you're 100% right. The art inside is cool. It's epic. It's great. You know, it was a good story. I absorbed it. It's on the app now. You know, so I saw some Ferd put on some thing about it, saying that he saw they're selling for like $50. I'm like, well, shit. If somebody wants to spend $50 in the book, I'm not married to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I put that thing on eBay. Dude, the first hour I had it on eBay, it had 18 views. You know?
Yeah.
And overnight it was at $29. I could not believe it. And then it ended up selling for like $50. That's crazy.
Yep. And that's a great segue.
Made somebody happy. Oh, hey.
Because the next topic can be the MCU. What's up with this movie stuff? A lot has changed since you and I last talked. So we all know what the biggest news to come out is. What are your thoughts on Downey as Doom?
Okay, we really have not done anything since Robert Downey as Doom.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But we have talked about this. But I don't know, man. I mean, like, it could be very corny. It could be very corny. But I know that you're all in. But my thought is, like, they have to handle this with kid gloves and do it right. Otherwise, it's going to look like a desperate move. You know? But, I mean, look, if they do it right, they do it right. I mean, his presentation was cool. Something I thought about, Johnny, just because I'm that weird kind of fuck. I wonder how many times he sat in front of a mirror and did that thing, the reveal where he pulls the mask off and does the hands thing.
Yeah.
I swear to you, he practiced that. I bet you he practiced that multiple times. He's an actor. Sure. I get it. But,
right.
I mean, cool, man. Dr. Doom, good. Like, we know. I just hope it's done well. I think there's going to be at least 3 movies. In the first movie, he's going to be revealed. Second movie, he's going to be like the super bad guy. In the third movie, he's going to join the good guys to fight a bigger bad guy. Galactic. Yeah. We'll see.
I think that's semi on track of what might happen. There was a new article that came out, I think yesterday, maybe, from the Hollywood Reporter, where he's talking about how they specifically say, because the whole thing has been, is he going to be Doom or a variant of Iron Man, of Tony Stark?
Ooh.
And so that's why, you know, and we can get into Memphis Iron Man in a second if y'all want, but the whole thing is, who's he going to be? And he specifically said in this interview that Feige said, let's get Victor Von Doom correct. So he is 100% going to be Victor Von Doom. He is not going to be a Tony Stark that's parading around in a Doom outfit or an Iron Man Mark Doom version, if you will. So that is kind of cool to see, because I think everybody just wants to have Dr. Doom at this point. And Downey is such a good actor that, you know, they could scar him up and he could go so balls deep into that role that we might not ever even see that.
Impossible. You know? Impossible. You know that. I mean, you know that's impossible. I mean, I am Iron. Come on, you know that's it's. Listen, anything is possible, but that's impossible. I mean, it's obviously counter negative. It's stupid to say, but here's what I'm going to go with it. I mean, like, I wonder what version of Doom they're going to give him. Is it going to be Infamous Iron Man? If it's Infamous Iron Man, that's badass. That he was amazing during that whole thing. But they're not. I mean, they have to introduce him with the Fantastic Four as an Easter egg, because isn't the Fantastic Four movie like in the past?
Yes, it's in the past, and it's also in another universe, another timeline.
Okay. But doesn't he exist there? I mean, he's going to exist there in some form or fashion.
I think so. I think that's kind of what they're leaning towards, or what the rumors are, is that he is going to pop up in that Fantastic Four movie timeline, that same universe. So, you know, I don't want to say too much about what I've heard, just in case people, and just in case any of it's true, and I don't want to spoil anything, but I think that's pretty general knowledge right now. So, yeah, but the infamous Iron Man book, I knew once that announcement happened. I was feeding Nolan, and I wanted to post the picture of Infamous Iron Man like immediately, but I ended up getting to it like an hour and a half late. But I just knew from that image, and I knew it was, and I even wrote in the post, it's not the storyline, but this image, especially the Scotty Young one, because that's the most Iron Man with Doom's cloaked hood on. Like, that is the most, it just represents what's going on right now. And I was like, because of that reason, this book is just going to be fucking nuts. And that book's still seeing $100 raw.
And look, I had the infamous Iron Man #1. That was one that I when you mentioned it a couple years ago, and I read it on the app, and I was like, this is fucking great. I want it. And then I realized it was kind of a minor chase book. This is one of the things that people actually got right, kind of. Even though it's just for the cover art, because it may have nothing to do with him being AI, because the AI part is all Riri Williams, you know. So I guess we'll see. I mean, like, I think maybe that people are just a little bit excited. This all came at the right time, possibly, because Deadpool came out with Wolverine, and then this announcement came out. It was all kind of at the right time. You know what I'm saying?
And we never even talked about Deadpool and Wolverine. We never talked about that.
Well, I mean, dude, what did you think? I mean, this is old news now, but dude, I haven't heard your perspective. Let's have it.
I think it's what the fans needed. And I think it's what Marvel needed, or really, honestly, any comic book movie, for that matter, needed to remind themselves that people, if you build it correctly, people will come. They will come, you know? And so I think that it was a good reminder. And it's just a glimpse of them. I think it was them saying, like, we hear you, kind of thing. Ryan Reynolds was the voice of that, but for Kevin Feige to greenlight that entire thing, it's his way and Marvel's way of saying, we hear you, we're making the change, you just got to bear with us, because, you know, these things take time to make. So yeah, amazing movie. The cameos were great. Channing Tatum's Gambit. Dude, have you seen, you ready for this? Hold on, let's watch this real quick.
Okay.
Hold on. Cancel. Dude, this blew my mind. Channing Tatum on the Tonight Show.
Oh, can we watch this? Okay. Can you just do both voices?
No, we can watch it. It won't. This won't.
Dark Claw said, "Great movie, great popcorn bucket," but I couldn't put popcorn in that head pool.
I didn't. I didn't put it in there. But are those things still selling for like $70 online?
I have no idea, but I like the little rubber flappy things.
So, all right. So check this out.
Film Blink Twice is out August 23rd. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
But you made one of the best cameos. I don't know what to call it.
Me neither, by the way.
In Deadpool and Wolverine, you played Gambit, and you were unbelievable, dude. It was the best. It was the best. Here you are as Gambit. Look at this.
I want to see your face.
Like, I could cry. Like, I could actually, I could get really emotional because I've been trying to like actively in the industry play that character for the last 20 years, but I was like, I don't know, in third grade throwing playing cards at my friends in the living room. So I mean,
is that really the truth?
Yeah. I mean, my dad's from New Orleans. He's from Metairie, and I grew up in Pascagoula, Gaucher, Mississippi. So
did you hear that?
What the fuck? Am I supposed? Look, I already like Channing Tatum. I already liked him. So,
dude, all right. So for the chat, Claw, I know you know. For
dude
the chat, the dude said Metairie. I don't want to give too much information out about myself, but I can say that's very close to where Kevin, Claw, it's very close to where we're from. And once you hear him talk and everything that he says in this interview, let me tell you, because people were kind of giving him crap about his accent. And I saw, and of course the comment section is a fucking field day. And I saw somebody being like, he didn't even nail a French accent right? And I'm like, you idiot, that's not, and I did not comment, but I'm like, you idiot, that's not a French accent, it's a Cajun accent. And I was like, so little people speak that, and even fewer people know what the hell it is. And he actually did a great job with his Cajun accent.
No, he didn't. No, he's terrible. He was terrible.
Dude, the accent, what he said was terrible. All right, look, my adopted grandma and grandpa.
Let's sit on this one for a second. I got time for this. Let's go.
My adopted grandma and grandpa that lived down the street from me as I was a kid. I spent literally every day at their house. Were straight up true Cajuns. Would talk to me in broken Cajun French. That dude's accent was not bad whatsoever. What he said was ridiculous. He said some ridiculous shit, but the accent itself was a good accent.
So it's like this. I think that, okay, so here's the deal. First of all, like Channing Tatum in the role, you're right. Best cameo when he walked into the room. I was like, oh shit, I didn't know. I was actually able to avoid all spoilers for this entire movie up until the day I watched it when I found out, X-23 was in it. I didn't know. But when he came into the room, I was like, yes. I was like, finally we get to see him like this. And I thought he did wonderful. Would I ever cast him as Gambit? Absolutely the fuck not ever. But I thought he was great. It was great to see him in that role. I knew he had been fighting for it. He looked awkward and stiff, although his action was great. But his accent, I would if that guy walked into the room when I'm eating a po' boy at a diner someplace and he started talking like that, I would look up and be like, what the fuck is happening here?
How many people do you talk to on a regular basis, though, that speak Cajun?
Actually, that's why it's funny that you mentioned that. Because I'm in the pool construction, I actually meet a lot of Cajun guys. And if they ever talk like that to me so consistently, it was just every word was dripping with the bayou. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, however, I will say this. I bet you they went over the top with him for that reason. Mm-hmm. I don't think he was playing Gambit straight. I think he was playing as Channing Tatum in a damn movie as Gambit. I don't think he was trying to pretend that he was like Gambit. You know, it might have started that way 20 years ago, but I think in the movie he knew kind of what was up. And listen, kind of segueing a little bit about this movie, I think something Zim said he hasn't seen it, so I won't go fucking it up for him. But I know, dude, get with it, bro.
Zim, look, hey man, we love you, but we can't help you at this point. Yeah, I mean, it's all out there.
I think something to take with this movie, and I talked to Jono about this. This whole movie was like a 3-comic arc. Okay, it was absolutely nothing spectacular. Wait, let me talk. As far as it didn't move the meter as far as like important things in the world. It just didn't. You know, it was a 3-comic arc. It was a lot of fun. And I think there's something you need to look at and step back and just enjoy is the fact that, look, Ryan Reynolds is not a great actor. Like, it's okay. He knows his role and he sticks it. However, I will tell you, the fact that he was able to be Deadpool playing Ryan Reynolds and Ryan Reynolds knowing that he's Deadpool and talk to the people in the crowd, also making popular statements, also talking about the State of the Union, also talking about comic book moments, and that Hugh Jackman played Wolverine as Wolverine the entire time, but still acknowledged that he was somewhat Hugh Jackman. Like, that was the real treat of the movie for me. The fact that I was still able to believe that I was watching a Marvel movie, even though I knew dead on that I was watching Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool. You know, like, I thought that was the most enjoyable part of the movie for me. The fact that, and then you had people like Emma Corrin, who played, I thought, a great version, you know, of your girl. Fuck her name. I have her stuff everywhere. I'm drawing a blank. But what's her name?
Cassandra Nova.
Thank you. Oh my God, I'm a big fan. But I mean, like, that was what I thought. And look, you write a lot, so what do you think? What were your thoughts there?
Oh, I just thought it was a great movie that was made for comic book fans, and I mean, no, you're right. Ryan Reynolds is great at playing Ryan Reynolds, and that's it, and that's all he needs to be, because he found his place in the acting world, and he, you know, some people are just born to play a part, and thankfully he found that.
Green Lantern?
Huh?
Green Lantern. I just I love
but
it.
I agree too about Channing looking very stiff, looking a little bulky. I think part of that was the costume design, and Crystal brought up a good idea. She was like, they should have it very nicely painted so he can fully, or like some sort of like latex where he can fully move his neck, because he's already a stocky dude. He's got a big, traps and chest and wide shoulders. So, you know, for him to like take your eyes away from that squareness he has, he needs to be able to be fluid. And he 100% can be, because he's a dancer. And if you've seen his training videos for him, the action scenes that he did, it's crazy.
Yeah, he did a good job.
But he needs to be able to, he was a little Batman '89 in that costume.
I thought he did
yeah.
great. I thought he did great. I thought it was done well. I was a little the two parts of the movie I was kind of bummed out about. If there was any part that I was bummed out about, obviously my girl X-23 kind of got like the shit end of whatever was going on there. Like she was kind of an afterthought, whatever. And then it was cool seeing Elektra, but she was just kind of there a little bit, you know. But it was cool to bring her in, you know.
Yeah. It was a love letter to the Fox stuff, to all because, you know, all of these Fox movies had to get made before the MCU came out and got it right. You know, so it's like kind of like a thank you and a love letter to them, and I felt it's kind of like all of those movies, especially all the Fox ones. It's almost like a sinking ship or a passing of a baton. But it's the MCU kind of reaching out their hand saying thank you, and we're going to try to salvage you and take some of you with us, because there's a back door to this thing, and we can get you in because of the multiverse and because of variants and because fan service and people on social media can literally vocalize with their wants and actually make it come onto the screen. So I feel like that was, you know, Ryan Reynolds really trying to save a lot of the old characters and stuff. When I thought that was very touching and a pleasure to see, even though it's has nothing to do with the movie, it's part of the production. It was nice to even see that, you know? Yeah.
I think that you're very, very right with all that stuff. I want to talk about the DCU in a second, like you had up with the thing, but I think the most important thing, that movie provided a moment for me that was the rings of Endgame, you know, and all the characters came through. I've seen it 100 times because it's been on a meme on Instagram. When it came on, I finally came across it. I must have sat there and watched it 20 times. When he pulled the damn mask down, when Wolverine pulled the mask down right there, dude, I sat there and I realized I've never seen him with a fucking mask on in any movie at any point at any time. And I realized how heavy a moment that was for my childhood to see him do that. And look, I mean, like my kid was there and they go like, oh, you know, I could tell it was CGI. And I said, I don't give a fuck, because I've been waiting my whole life to see this. And not only that, it looked good. I'm glad they didn't show his real eyes. I'm glad they were the white eyes. It was so good. And then just to let you know how horny the whole scene made me when they're fighting all the Deadpools, my entire time I just watched Wolverine. I didn't watch anybody else. I watched Wolverine because I realized that was the first time I was ever seeing Wolverine as Wolverine do Wolverine things, and it was fucking glorious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Full berserker mode, crouching stance, raging out like, you know, Jackman played it, or whoever the stunt person was that did that. They played it small. They played it hunched, and even though he's a big dude, they played it like very compact. And it was great. It was beautiful. It didn't need to save the MCU, but it did need to just kind of remind everybody, like, hey, you know, it's not out for the count. We can do this right. We just got to get the right people behind it, and that's it. DCU, there's really the Joker. You excited about that?
No, I don't care. I'll watch it. I don't care. It's what's that?
The second one. Did you like the first?
I remember watching it going like, it's okay, it's Joker. It didn't need to be Joker. Sure. I think that if I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm not hating on it at all, but I think that Joaquin Phoenix, and look, I like him. I think I'd like him as a human being if we ever hung out. I think that he has a tendency to overact in the roles, like overplay roles a little bit much, because he's like trying to be that much of an artist. Again, I am not an actor. I am not like that kind of artist at all. So I'm not complaining or criticizing. I'm just saying I feel like he overacts it. And I have no, and again, she might be a wonderful human being. I have no love for Lady Gaga at all, as far as like in the arts or acting or anything like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know how she got the role. In those kind of roles, I always like to see like an unproven talent. You know, like it's cooler that way. I would believe it more. But now I'm looking at Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix. You know, I'm going to watch it. I'm not going to be in a hurry to watch it. I probably won't see it in the movie theater. I don't know. It doesn't move the meter. In fact, until you just mentioned it, I had forgotten about it.
Yeah. I think I'm looking forward to it. I think they're both. I think Lady Gaga is extremely talented, and so is Joaquin. And I think the first one was amazing. And I don't know. I mean, I like it. I think it's ballsy to go with the musical for the second one, and I'm pretty sure they said that, or Joaquin said that they think they've said with this movie everything that they wanted to say in this Joker universe here. So I think this is going to be the end of his story.
I hope it's great, man. I really hope it's great. I remember enjoying the first movie, but I think that I saw it after it came out to streaming, and then maybe it had been talked up too much for me, and then I just saw so many people like doing Joker stuff. I definitely see elements of The Dark Knight Returns in it. There's definitely like scenes that are directly pulled from the book yet again that I remembered as soon as I saw them. But I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you like her. I'm glad you like him, and I hope it's wonderful. I'm going to watch it, and I want to enjoy it. Do you know what movie I watched a couple weeks ago that I thought was better the second time I watched it?
What's that?
The Batman with Robert Pattinson.
Oh, that movie's great.
Yeah, it really is. It really is a good movie,
Yeah.
I saw it the first time and I liked it, and then I watched it again. I'm like, dude, I pulled my wife down. I said, watch this with me. And she said no. But like, I remember being that inspired that I wanted her to watch it with me. And it was, look, I really enjoyed it. As far as the DCU going forward, look,
Superman.
I'm all in. Let's see what's going on. How do you feel? What do you know?
I don't know much. All I know is what James Gunn shows, and he's pretty vocal about everything. Well, not everything. He's vocal about a lot. I just don't know. I have all the faith in James Gunn as a storyteller. But Superman is such a vibe. He's and you can't really vary from it too much, or you kind of lose the essence of the character. And my instinct tells me that James Gunn 100% knows that. But James Gunn has a James Gunness that he does when he makes a movie. And you can see it in all throughout Guardians and other movies that he's made. And he's kind of weird and he's kind of kooky. And I just hope he doesn't utilize too much of that and lose the character in it,
He cannot make it again. He can do whatever the fuck he wants, but I would say he should not make it in the vein of Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't want a little bit of action, then like the pause, and then get like some cool, kooky 60s, 70s, movie vignette kind of going on.
Sure.
Music kind of stuff. So I'm interested to see, because that's what we all know and liked. But sometimes when you see the second act, you're like, oh, it wasn't as good as the first, like with the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. I'm not going to poo-poo this at all. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. As terrible as a character as Superman is, I'm always fascinated to watch his stories. Because like I will tell you, and I've said it before, and I dare anybody, he is probably the single-handedly the hardest character to write, because he's so confined by what he has to be.
Sure.
Like he absolutely confined by that. He has to be fucking Superman. Batman can do whatever he wants. He wants to bang a few chicks, he can do that. He wants to have a family or not have a family or cry. He can do whatever he wants. But Superman has to be good, and he can't diss Lois Lane or anything like that. He has to be good. So I mean, we'll see. I'm excited about it though. I'll watch it. I'll go in the theater for that.
For sure. Let's go to the next item on our checklist: comic drama. There's a lot of comic drama going around.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. What do you
got?
No,
just like all over YouTube, there's just Cassowaries in the house. Record scratch. Yeah, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got in this situation. Well, let's wind the clocks back a little. Planet called. Dude, okay.
Yes.
So this is exactly. Thank you. This is exactly what I'm talking about. And what I think, I think is kind of understood. 100%. That is a James Gunnism. A Gunnism. There we go. And let's hope that he does not do that. He knows how to tug at the heartstrings. He knows how to character develop. But let's hope he doesn't do shit like that. Mm-hmm. So, well said. Good analogy.
He can't do
comic drama. Right. There's a ton of YouTube stuff. There was some stuff with Gem Mint.
Ooh, that kind of comic drama. Let's go.
Yeah, but see, I don't like. So here's when I made this slide. Here's my what I wanted to kind of go with on this topic. It feels like there's just so many. When it comes to comic headlines, there's just so many negatives and not a lot of positives. There's just so much. I feel like the hobby, honestly, is festering with like negativity, and a part of it is because of people's natural instinct to, look at the car wreck as they pass, right? People, drama, things that are negative clicks. Trust me, from somebody who makes YouTube videos, the most popular videos, and don't be fooled if you don't think I don't design my thumbnails to look like they're negative or drama. That's the hook. And then hopefully when you get into the video, I can share something that either one entertained you or two, maybe introduce something new to you, or maybe you learned something that you had never thought of before, right? But the hook is what people always like, which is drama and negativity. And what's happening is, a lot of content creators seem to be doing that because it's what gets clicks. The comic reviews, the comic talk stuff, the plain old comic book community stuff is going down in views. And it's one of those things, it's like a festering thing that's it's a vicious cycle, because those things don't get a lot of plays, but the drama stuff does. So the people that are making the content make more drama because they think that's what everybody wants to see, because that's what gets clicks. So it kind of sucks. And then you have that, but you also have the comic market crashing, right? It's crashing to a certain extent. Yeah, this stuff. Yeah, a lot of it is. I mean, it's past the point of a correction at this point. A lot of stuff, So
what am I missing there?
And I'm not saying that it can't go back up, and we have a slide for that too. But I'm saying like that, the grading stuff. You've got the dude from Heroes Restoration, who is a pretty well-known comic restoration company, stealing $300,000 in comic books from people. Yeah.
What's this?
Yeah, a dude was doing a comic restoration. I don't know what happened or what he got into, but yeah, he had $300,000 that he stole. He was arrested. You've got just a ton of stuff.
Record scratch. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Wiping his ass with that amazing fantasy 15. I'll be wondering how I got here.
Dude, what the fuck, man? Wait. So like, hey, babe, call me tomorrow. What are you talking about? What is all this stuff? I don't know this stuff. Give me some of it. Let's get some clicks. Give me some dirt. I'll try to act mature. Give me some dirt. We got 15 minutes.
Well, we still got more topics to cover, and that's the thing. I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about this, because again, my whole point is that
you tease.
It sucks that it's taking up a lot of the talking space in the community, but it's just something I just want to kind of look to everybody else and be like, y'all seeing this? Like, you feel all this crap that's going around, so much drama, and it just kind of sucks, and it's just, I don't know. I'm trying to stay out of it as much as possible and keep the channel. Like, I could have made a ton of like videos about commenting on other drama stuff, and I just don't want to. If it's drama, it's gonna be about my channel,
Yeah, that's not Paper Chase way. That's absolutely. I agree. Stay positive, my brother, on that kind of stuff. Don't enter into that. So
yeah. What
about
this comic grading?
I'm excited. When do our books come back? I'm really excited about this. Can you tell them what we did?
Like a week, I think.
Oh, man. Tell them what we did.
What we did. We sent in a book. So it's me, Rev, and Dark Claw in the chat here. We each sent in some books. I think I've got 14 books, and then they both got 5 each. Oh. So, we're going to do an unboxing on the channel here, and we got some good stuff in there, some really good stuff in there. But that's one thing when we were talking about collecting earlier, figuring out, what is worth grading at this point. So from your perspective, what do you classify for your own collection is worthy of being encapsulated in a slab with a grade number on it?
Okay, cool. Obviously, you and I are in a completely different boat as far as that. I think that I want to encapsulate first copies of books that I get that I've been trying to hunt for. Obviously, like, so again, and Dark Claw sold me my very first Spider-Woman, both of them, the first appearance and Spider-Woman. I did not slab that one, but that one's kept real close to me. It's always there. I did find a better version of it, quality-wise, and I sent that off. I gave it to you, and I was excited. I mean, it's like a $50 book, and graded, it'll be like, if it's like a 9.4, 9.5, or 9.6, excuse me, it'll be an $80 book. So for me, I'm grading things that mean something to me because I don't really sell them. I need to see good quality stuff. I don't like to go under a 9. I don't really tend to. If I can get a 9.2, 9.4, that's what I'm looking at. If I think it's under that, I probably wouldn't do it. I would just keep it and brag about it. But so interesting asking me, because I'm not somebody who's grading for money purposes of selling. So I'm actually probably grading for the wrong reasons. But I want them encapsulated in the little bags and the just for safekeeping. But I'm in theory doing it wrong. But I like the way they look, and I'm excited to see that if I'm right about what I thought we were going to grade. What they were going to grade. It's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It is exciting. It's its own little mini game within the comic community, and that's 100% okay if you enjoy that game. That's, hey, here's the book. I clean, and especially if you clean and press, right? Like you and I do. Like, especially if you do that and you get that and you try to clean and press that book to a certain grade. The difference is the people that clean and press their own books and they get their books graded is they own that grade. That is their grade. Yeah. They found the book, they cleaned it, they pressed it to that grade, and that's what that number is. That's their accomplishment, and that is okay to collect that way. It might not be worth grading, but that's not up to you. That's up to them as their collector. And so for me, it's, again, it's like with the horror stuff, the high grade horror stuff, I'm really like the Bronze Age, and it really is starting to, I'm seeing it's holding its value is any Bronze Age horror stuff that's like a 9.4 or higher, even like a 9.2 in some books, is really holding its value. And here's the thing, I like the accomplishment, right? I like the book that's at a certain grade that should not be at that certain grade. A book that it's like, it's very hard for this book to be at that grade. And that typically translates into a dollar amount. And the dollar amount is nice, of course, but I like the rarity of, hey, I found this book, I cleaned and pressed it to this grade. That's why I'm grading it.
I have done this. I have accomplished.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, like, personally, like for like a value standpoint for resale, I'm not grading anything that's going to bring in less than $100.
See, that's not me, man. If I bought a book for $30 and got it graded for $25 and it got appraised for $70, I'd be so happy.
Yeah.
But I'm not selling them. The books that I submitted to be graded. The three that I asked you to grade completely were my Spider-Woman #1, which I'm really excited about, my She-Hulk #1, and then my Immortal Hulk #7. Yeah, and I said you picked two more, so I'm excited about which ones you picked, because I'm interested to see if you picked ones that are you going the value or are you going the nostalgia for me? I don't know. I'm excited to see which ones you picked, and then see if you're right.
Okay. So. Yeah, and I did that comic grading video last week, and that was a newer that was a process that I've started over the last 3 submissions, and I'm definitely finding that cold press process really works. So if you are somebody that cleans and presses your own comic books, a cold press is essential if you want to try to get that grade that you're going for. Did you buy any? Did you buy any or anything to cold press? Not the stuff that I had, but did you buy anything?
So I noticed that again, like I said, not just throwing flowers at your feet, but a lot of times it's the internet internet effect. Look, it's when you see something on the internet, even though I know you can see the influencing factor on it. Like I've known about your cold press for over a year and how you kind of do it, man. But then you like pan to your back room right there, and also those little orange weights and the little clear acrylic, and I was like, ooh, I want to go to there. Like I saw that, I was like, and I'm like immediately like typing on the internet, little orange weights. Like I could have any weight. I have 7-pound weights, but no, I want little
links in the description of the video.
I never look at that stuff. No offense. I watch a video and I like it and I move on.
Yeah.
And I read the comments and see if I can glean any more information. But no, I mean, I have the weights. I have those weights. I have clear plastic, but I'm like, no, I want the Johnny weights, the little orange weights with little rubber on them.
Like it is nice. It is satisfying to do that with them and to see them nice and pristine in their little cold press areas. But if you already had, you don't need those exact things. But that's just the stuff that I found was the cheapest.
And it looked good.
Yeah. Kessler says, if you want your comics to have the same function as a trading card, get it graded. Pretty much. I used to collect cards a lot, and that's part of the collecting aspect, right? Because once you grade something, you take the reading aspect out of it. And that's called collecting.
Well, we've talked about it before. Like once it's graded at a 9, let's say 9.8 for everything. Okay, that book is now 9.8. Now the price may go up and down, but the grade won't. It is a 9.8. Unless you throw it out in the sun and let it cook for a while. I mean, like the price will always be a 9.8 as long as it's sealed. That's the thing. So that takes that book off the market. There's one less Spider-Man 300 out there, that isn't graded. And that's something that we should all look at in the next 10 years. All those books are going to be gone. They're all going to just be in plastic. In fact, it's going to be more expensive to find one out of plastic, just so somebody can then grade it.
Yeah, but and that's what I've always kind of told somebody as well. Like the people that look at grading as like a coffin for their comic. You know how easy it is. I mean, we all know how easy it is to break those things open if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
So if you are somebody who had, and keep in mind too, like the people that grade their books. I mean, if you look at the percentage of what they're grading, like for me, you see the wall behind me, right? You never see any. Well, there's like one raw comic here. But the amount of books of my collection that are graded has got to be less than 1%, But even if somebody were to grade 200-300 books, you can bust all those things out within an hour, 2 hours, bust all of those books out of their cases. If you were just like, screw it. Yeah. I've done it on a stream before, taking a book out with my hands. So
that was incredible. Why are you doing that? Going like, you're like, ugh.
It was not, but it's not, it's not, so it's not impossible. And Cass, he likes raw. I like it raw. I like raw too. Because we all love the smell, right?
Wow.
The smell.
Yeah. That's, yes, I agree.
And and here's the thing too, where the condition of the comic reaches a weird point where it's like it's so high grade that you're like, okay, I got to get this graded, or I want to get this graded because of how high a grade it is. But then it's also so satisfying to hold it in that high grade. Like my Batman 181, First Poison Ivy. This book is probably an 8.0, and to hold that book in that grade is definitely an experience because it's not supposed to be that high grade.
You had that Knicks #3. I remember reading that at your house going like, oh, shit, this is it right here. I'm holding it. I've only ever seen it digital, and there it's at your house somewhere over there in a box.
It's not high grade, though, unfortunately.
Doesn't matter, man. You have it and I don't. That's what I'm saying. I'm happy for you, but that's what I'm after, I'd be after that one in any kind of grade, to be honest with you.
Sure.
Just to say I have it, So,
yeah, absolutely. So, yeah. That's,
I got 4 minutes.
We got 4 minutes. Damn.
Yeah, Melissa just texted me. She said 4 minutes.
Oh shit, 4 minutes. Okay, what's the next?
Let's hear it. Let's go.
Let's go. Reading.
That's what I led off with.
Yeah, you did kind of already mention that, huh? What you're reading? The absolute stuff, DC stuff.
I'm trying to dive into some DC stuff. I mean, I always read a little bit of some indie stuff, but I'm trying to give DC a chance. I want to know. I went to my local LCS and I put a pile down, and like a third of it was DC. I'm like, check me out.
Local LCS.
Check me out. I would never steal his Knicks. Yeah, LCS. What did I say?
You said my local LCS. So I said your local comic shop.
Hey, DC Comics. Where we at?
Yeah, I was reading, all Blood Hunt, Ultimate Comics. I'm probably 3 weeks behind, I think, on all stuff that I was reading.
Well, what are you reading, man? I want to know.
I was reading. I read the Transformers trade paperback. I was reading, the Ultimate stuff. I was reading Blood Hunt. Kind of interested in the Werewolf by Night stuff. That's it. It's hard to keep up.
You're a busy man. We all know that.
Mm-hmm. And final thing. Let's talk about this. I mean, we can go on and on about this, but what's going on with the comic market, man? Shit is getting lower and lower.
Good for me, because I just want to collect it. Well, show me, man. I need to show you my wish list, and you just go like, buy this, buy this, buy this. I mean, is it bumming you out? I mean, because you have some stuff out there on eBay. Does it bum you out?
No, because it really doesn't, because it all matters what you're in on the book for. It all matters on what you're buying on the book. And I don't buy a book unless it's a stupid deal. Like that is just my mind. Yeah. Like maybe I bought like in the past 3 years 5 books that was fair market value. Like, this is the worth of this book. But I never overpay. I never pay more than that. I never, I just say I hunt for deals, and that's it. Like, and so when you hunt like
veins, man, ice in your veins.
So when you hunt like that, it really doesn't matter what the market is doing. It's all a win. And I do like that I can get some books now that are, cheaper.
Let's take them for all they're worth.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's definitely a loaded topic, and we can go on and on and on. But comment below what you think the state is of the comic market, and we can do that in a separate video or another podcast.
Let's do it next week.
What's that?
Let's do it next week. Come on, I'm ready.
Yeah,
my
next
kid's
week.
off at college. I'm so sad, but I want to talk to you, and I want to talk to everybody online.
Yeah,
let's do
for sure. I'm down as long as we can with the baby boy, as long as he allows us. Definitely down to do this again next week. Tomorrow I do have a video dropping.
Woo!
Hopefully, if I can finish editing it tonight. And it's the top 5 underrated comics. Top 5 undervalued comics. And
top 5 undervalued. Okay. Okay.
And they're undervalued in both ways. And like appreciated, talked about more amongst the community, and also dollar amount as well. So that'll be dropping tomorrow. So keep a lookout for that.
I'm excited about it. I'm excited about you. I'm excited about everyone out there. Thank you for tuning in and giving us your time. We really appreciate it. We know we're being erratic, but we have a beautiful baby boy that this guy is taking care of, and that's more important than anything out there. But we are doing this when we can, and thank you so much.
Hell yeah. All right. See y'all later. Have a good one.
You play any music?
Play any music? Y'all want to do a little outro? Let's go with this one.